Hello, and thanks for stopping by. Today we'll be discussing why I don't use Wayland. Now, I've seen some really cool stuff with Wayland, and I actually like Wayland, but my current window manager does not allow for Wayland. Instead, it has me on X11. But you know what? That's fine with me, because I really like my setup. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just hope that eventually they will come around to making it available for Wayland. But when I was on GNOME, I still used Wayland. That's how I know I liked Wayland. But coming off of Wayland and then going back to X11 made me realize that Wayland is not nearly as functional for me as I once thought. In fact, one reason I don't run Wayland is because Wine doesn't run as good. Whenever I load up my application from Wine, there's some parts of the interface that just will not work. For example, whenever I was dragging and dropping something, I noticed that it wouldn't do it, but I also noticed that my cursor was turning different colors. So like, you know how in Wine your cursor is white? Well, mine was black, meaning that it defaulted to the cursor on Linux. Meaning that whatever I dragged and dropped wasn't going to work in my program because they use a different cursor than Linux does. I just found it to be an overall buggy experience when it came to using Wine programs, and I have no idea why. The second reason I don't use Wayland at this time is because screen sharing does not work properly, and by that I mean there is no window capture, and window capture is very important to me. Now there is an alternative, which is using V4L2 loopback and running OBS as a virtual camera, but that has a very specific purpose for me. I only use it whenever I want my screen to be customized. So like if I'm streaming a game, for example, and I have like a custom layout for it that I whipped up in GIMP, and I want to show it off to people in Discord, then yeah, I'll use virtual camera. But even then, it only allows you to do a screen capture. And that's the problem, is that it only allows for screen capture, no window capture. And one of the biggest reasons why I don't use Wayland at this time is because Discord will not update my phone whenever I get a new message. On X11 it will. I don't know why it doesn't update me, but it will not update me. And so it causes me to have to check my app constantly to see if I've gotten a new message. And so for these reasons, besides the fact that AwesomeWM does not ship, is why I don't use Wayland. I think it still has some work left to go, but at the same time, I think it is a really nice. Like, here's the thing about Wayland. I think about all the cool things that you can do with it that I'm missing out on, essentially, or that I think I'm missing out on. I'm not really missing out on it because I'm happy in AwesomeWM and I can do everything in X11. But it's just one of those perks of like, okay, so with Hyperland, all of your animations, all of your transitions, they can be configured in your config file alongside of your code for everything else. Like everything is just in one place. I don't have to go over here and get PyCom and then have my window manager and then have this program and then have that program. It's all ran in one thing, and that's what I really appreciate about Wayland. But again, I'm really happy with AwesomeWM and I really don't want to leave AwesomeWM. That is the dilemma here. I see all the benefits with Wayland, but then there's like these 2 or 3 things to where I'm like, yeah, I really don't want to use Wayland at this time. But the important part is that I am open to using it in the future because I think it's really cool and it's really helpful, but it's just not ready for me yet. And with that, we've come full circle. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next video.